Hello, my name is Micheal Kayode OMOLOJU. I'm a student of the University of Lagos, Accounting Department 300 level, and this is our entry for our FBA311 project, Business Information Technology. I'm the group leader for Group 9, and before we start, I'll be introducing you to my group members.
I am Ayomide OSORE, and I'll be introducing you to knowledge management, intellectual capital, the types of intellectual capital, and the types of knowledge. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Divine Uchechi EBULEOGU, and we're going to be taking a look at knowledge management steps and the components of knowledge management.
My name is Damilola. I'll be taking you on components and benefits of knowledge management.
Hi, I'm Oluwabukunmi, and I'll be talking about e-learning, facilities that promoted e-learning, and benefits of e-learning. Thank you.
So in this video, I'll be speaking about learning management systems and also the differences between corporate e-learning and education e-learning. So as we'll be going in this lesson, Ayomide is going to be starting with you with knowledge management. Thank you.
Hi, it's Ayomide here, and I'll be introducing you to knowledge management. Knowledge management was coined from two words, knowledge and management. Knowledge are facts, information, skills acquired through experience or education, while management is the process of planning, organizing, leading, and controlling an organization's resources to achieve its goals efficiently and effectively. So, from these two ways, knowledge management are a set of strategies, practices, organization uses to become more systematic about managing their intellectual capital. The primary goal of knowledge management is facilitating the connection of staff looking for information or institutional knowledge with people who have it, that is, bringing together information to those who need it. Knowledge management helps to increase an organization's competitive advantage and helps their productivity. For instance, when an organization wants to make a research, it is advised for them to document such research for easy retrieval at when they want to use it next. Also, this helps to reduce the risk associated with losing intellectual capital. For example, when an employee leaves an organization, and this will lead us to the nature of intellectual capital. The nature of intellectual capital. Intellectual capital includes all the intangible assets and resources of an enterprise that are not captured by conventional accounting reports. Types of intellectual capital. There are three types of intellectual capital, and they are human capital, social capital, and structural capital. What is human capital? Human capital encompasses the skills and knowledge that the company's personnel possesses, that is, their experiences and their years of education. What is social capital? Social capital is the quantity and caliber of all the relationships that an organization employers have with one another, that is, the culture of the organization. What are structural capital? Structural capital is the knowledge that is kept in the form of records that are frequently kept electronically and includes various organization activities, that is, the information that can be retrieved and updated. Like in the University of Lagos, we have the library and we have the e-library. Types of knowledge. We have three types of knowledge. We have the tactic knowledge, implicit knowledge, and the explicit knowledge. What is tactic knowledge? Tactic knowledge is a type of knowledge that is typically acquired through experience and it is intuitively understood. And these are knowledge that cannot be easily retained, and they include the languages, facial recognition, or leadership skills. What are implicit knowledge? This is a type of knowledge that isn't codified or documented, and they include the know-how knowledge. What are explicit knowledge? Explicit knowledge are knowledge that are kept into records, and they are the document types of knowledge. They include manual, reports, guides, and these are documents that can be easily retained when they are in need of them.
My name is Divine, and we'll be looking at knowledge management steps. These steps are divided into four, and they include identify goals, locate resources, capture knowledge, organize, share, and value knowledge. The first step is to identify goals, which can best be determined by studying the organization's specific needs. A project with a specific and clear aims is more likely to achieve. The next step is to locate the sources. When you've identified the goals, the next thing to do is to locate the sources of relevant knowledge. Then we'll move to capture knowledge. Before people can take advantage of intellectual capital, it must be captured, and this depends on the kind of knowledge we seek and how best we can store it. The last step is to organize, share, and value knowledge. The bits and pieces of knowledge that emerge from all the meeting notes, interview, documents, and videos that we've gathered will need to be organized, and this can be done through the organization's intranet. Then finally, we'll move on to the components of knowledge management. The components of knowledge management include people, process, content or IT, and strategy. People. Regardless of the industry, size, or knowledge needs of your organization, you always need people to lead, sponsor, and support knowledge sharing. When starting a knowledge management program, you need two kinds of people. First, the senior leaders to provide sponsorship and insight into broader organizational strategy, and also cross-functional stakeholders to guide implementation, and they are the stakeholders coming from different functional areas of the company. Process. In organizations with strong knowledge management processes, knowledge flows like a city water supply. When someone needs it, they just turn it up. The knowledge management team can measure inputs and outputs, locate bottlenecks, and reroute firms. The American Productivity and Quality Center has identified a standard knowledge flow process which describes how knowledge flows through organizations, and they include create new knowledge, identify knowledge, review knowledge, share knowledge, access knowledge, and finally use the knowledge to solve problems faster and make more informed decisions. Thank you.
My name is Damilola. Since discussing on the components of knowledge management, we have the content and the IT. Effective knowledge management programs have workflows for creating and investing content, to organize content, and technology tools to connect people to content. Advanced organizations use content management to facilitate collaboration, uncover innovation, and automatically serve up content to employees in their most stable moments. So, content can be defined in these following ways. Number one, content is any kind of documented knowledge, from vested best practices to quick and dirty tips shared among colleagues. So, we put content along IT because IT infrastructures enable people to create for easy access and reuse processes. If you don't have knowledge management in an organization, people will still create content, but they will use it in places others can find, or remake things others have already done, and reuse content that is out of date or incorrect. Strategy. All knowledge management program should have a clear, documented, and business relevant strategy, because you can have the best technology tool and a super smart knowledge management team, but without a strategy, it's all for nothing. Perhaps a scholar put it best: if the boat is going in the wrong direction, rolling hard won't help. You need a solid business case to demonstrate a deep understanding of your organization critical knowledge needs. The business case should outline the following. Number one, the knowledge management value proposition, that is, how the knowledge management solve the business problem. Number two, the tools, approaches, and roles needed to get there. Number three, the budget and the expected impact, that is, the return on investment of knowledge management. Benefits of knowledge management. Number one, we have improved organization agility. Number two, better and quicker decision making. Number three, quicker problem solving. Number four, increased rate of innovation and support employees' growth and development. We have sharing of specialist expertise and better communication. And the last one, we have improved business processes.
I am Oluwabukunmi, and I'll be talking about e-learning. So what is e-learning? E-learning is the delivery of learning and training through digital resource. Although e-learning is based on formalized learning, it is provided through electronic devices such as computers, laptops, tablets, phones that are connected to the internet. This makes it easy for users to learn anytime, anywhere, with few, if any, restrictions. So wherever you are in the world, you can, as long as you have your electronic device and you are connected to reliable internet, you are good to go. Learning is central to an organization's capacity to build intellectual capital, and e-learning plays an important role. For an organization to gain competitive advantage in this dynamic business environment, it is important for them to increase learning. It's important for them to increase learning so as to gain competitive advantage over their competitors, and e-learning platforms has made that easy for organizations that they can learn without the constraint of time and space. Without the constraint of time and space that comes with face-to-face classroom session or workshops and seminars. But new challenges emerge. Technological glitches are not uncommon, with connections breaking down or microphones failing. Have you ever been in a Zoom meeting or a Google meeting where there where there is break there's a break in transmission, or as a result of your bad network you're unable to connect to the class? But organizations can reap huge benefits if they take advantage of the online medium for learning and do not just try to replicate classroom. So what are the factors that facilitated e-learning in becoming the most popular way to deliver training to the hand? They include the internet. Prior to the rise of the internet, many relied on printed manuals, CD-ROMs, and other restrictive methods of learning and training. The rise of the internet allowed organizations to abandon one-dimensional practices and utilize the flexibility of learning. Development of multimedia. As e-learning progressed, the ability to integrate elements such as images, audio, videos, and graphics proved to be a more reliable way of keeping learners engaged compared to traditional learning. Affordable digital devices. Considering the first IBM computer cost the equivalent of $5,000 today, it's understandable that e-learning popularity rose as a result of digital devices becoming more affordable. Like now, today, you can get an iPhone 14 for as low as $1,200 compared to the IBM computer. Then we have the well-built learning management system. LMS have become more sophisticated, moving from locally installed to cloud-based system, with organizations increasingly applying them to execute many forms of training. There are many things to consider when choosing an LMS. At a minimum, ensure it has the functionality and support you need to meet your objectives and those of your business.
Hi again, my name is Micheal Kayode, and I'll be discussing learning management systems. The LMS is an information system used to deliver e-learning courses, track students' progress, and manage educational records. Many offer other features such as online registration, assessment tools, collaborative technology, and payments processing. A good example of this is the LMS platform created by the University of Lagos during the COVID-19 pandemic. This platform enables students to take online courses, track their progress by taking tests and exams on the system, and also give results to students. Also, we'll be discussing social learning platforms. The long history of knowledge management efforts makes it clear that people learn at least as much from peers, mentors on the job as they do from formal learning. And people are so accustomed to social networking and other Web2 applications that it is easy to build these tools into e-learning environments. For example, many LMS vendors do this by adding blog posts, personal profiles, virtual classroom, and discussion forums to their systems that helps people have a feeling of the social networking platforms like Instagram and Twitter in their learning environment. Now I'll be discussing the differences between corporate and education e-learning. Corporations use self-paced e-learning modules, and employees are able to take these courses at their own time and improve their skills and achieve certifications. Most employees do not have time to go to take classes, so they make use of the e-learning modules that allow them to take their classes at their own time and leisure time, and they can take it also at their own pace, so it does not matter the time or how fast it needs to be to achieve skills and also achieve certifications in their various business lines. In contrast, colleges or universities lean towards stimulating the learning experience of a face-to-face class led by a faculty member. Here, lecturers try to recreate the experience of a face-to-face class by encouraging students to answer questions, take tests, and also give their own feedback. Now, the LMS for business emphasizes integration with human resources, compliance, training, and professional development tracking. Businesses or companies create LMS platform for their employees to be able to improve their human resources and also to teach them compliance training as regards the company's ethics. Educational products follows a course model with the syllabus, library access, grade books, and test banks. Now, schools will create their own LMS based on the syllabus or their classes course outline to be able to give students their course notes, to grade their tests, and also give them test banks which they can revise on. And finally, business software developers focus on corporate needs. Every business software developer will focus on whatever their company or organization needs to create their own e-learning platforms, while the educational market has become dominated by companies known as Blackboards, desires to learn, and as well as open source products such as Moodle. In summary, we've just discussed knowledge management and e-learning, and we've said that knowledge management is a set of strategies and practices that organizations use to become more systematic about managing their intellectual capacity. That is all organizations need, and they have to increase their workers or employees' intellectual capacity. We also spoke about e-learning as a way of delivering learning or training through digital resources. We compared corporation e-learning and educational e-learning, and we said that corporation has to do with companies or organizations educating their employees, and